Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world where editing your DNA is as common as taking a vitamin. A world where you walk into a clinic the way you walk into a pharmacy today, and instead of picking up painkillers or cough syrup, you pick up a genetic patch that boosts your immunity, sharpens your memory, strengthens your muscles, or improves your sleep. Imagine children growing up with routine gene adjustments as part of their school health programs. Imagine elderly people reversing age-related decline with a monthly DNA repair infusion. Imagine families choosing their genetic upgrades the way we choose mobile phone plans today: basic, premium, and ultra-enhanced. Is this science fiction, or is this the next normal? Today we are going to explore something that is quietly transforming our future. Not in secret labs, not in distant planets, but in our daily lives. DNA editing becoming as routine and casual as brushing your teeth. To understand how we reached this point, we need to go back. For most of human history, DNA was a mystery. Something we couldn't see, couldn't change, and couldn't control. Our genes felt like destiny. If you inherited a disease, that was the end of the story. If you were born with a weak immune system, tough luck. If you had a family history of heart disease, diabetes, cancer, your future was written in a language you could not edit. But everything changed in 2012 with CRISPR. Suddenly, humanity discovered a tool that could cut, paste, delete, and rewrite genes with incredible precision. It was like discovering the edit button for life. Scientists cured diseases in cells, reversed blindness in animals, repaired broken genes, and even edited human embryos. But at that time, editing DNA felt like something dangerous, something that belonged only in scientific labs under strict control. In the early 2020s, CRISPR cured a few rare disorders. By the late 2020s, gene therapies expanded. People started receiving injections to fix blood disorders, metabolic diseases, and immune conditions. It was expensive, experimental, and limited, but it worked. The world saw the first people cured not by drugs, but by rewriting their genetic code. Then the 2030s arrived and gene editing began stepping outside hospitals. Direct-to-consumer genetic testing exploded. People learned their risks for heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, and more. But information alone wasn't enough. People wanted solutions. Companies began offering preventive gene adjustments. These weren't extreme edits. They were small, safe tweaks to enhance resilience, reduce risk, and support longevity. Parents began editing embryos to remove dangerous mutations. Adults removed inherited risks. Athletes used approved gene therapies to repair tendons and accelerate recovery. Mental health patients received neural gene adjustments to regulate stress pathways. Slowly, the idea of editing DNA stopped feeling dangerous. It started feeling normal. By the late 2030s, gene editing kits appeared that allowed people to adjust certain traits under medical supervision. A simple injection could reduce inflammation, another could improve skin collagen, another could enhance liver function, another could strengthen bones. Insurance companies began covering gene corrections because they were cheaper than treating lifelong diseases. Governments launched public health programs where DNA scans were done annually, like blood tests, to detect molecular damage early and fix it before symptoms appeared. Then came the 2040s, the decade where DNA editing became woven into everyday life. People used genetic sprays, inhalable molecules that targeted lung cells. People used genetic eye drops, therapies that sharpened vision or protected the retina. People used genetic patches, wearable devices that released DNA edits through the skin. Families sent their children for genetic tune-ups before exams or sports seasons. Couples planning pregnancies optimized embryos to prevent diseases. Workers took genetic stress boosters to handle high-pressure jobs. Elderly individuals repaired mitochondrial DNA to maintain energy and prevent aging. This was the turning point where society realized something profound. DNA editing wasn't something that happened once. It was something you did regularly, like maintaining your car, updating your phone, or going to the dentist. Now imagine the world in 2050. You wake up and your smart mirror analyzes your skin cells, detects UV damage, and suggests a micro-editing cream. Your health band scans your blood and recommends a gene tune-up for inflammation. Your AI doctor reviews your DNA report and suggests a booster to strengthen your memory. You go to the grocery store and buy foods enriched with gene activators, ingredients that activate your longevity genes. At work, your company offers a genetic stress reduction program to improve employee well-being. Children grow up taking biology classes where they learn how their gene patches work. Teenagers customize their traits with safe gene enhancers approved by pediatric specialists. DNA editing becomes so casual that people start seeing their biology the way they see technology. Something customizable, something flexible, something upgradable. But this new normal doesn't come without consequences. Suddenly, being natural becomes a lifestyle choice, almost like choosing not to use smartphones. Some people love enhancements, others reject them completely. Organic biology becomes a trend. Natural aging becomes a symbol of authenticity. Unedited DNA becomes a badge of purity. Meanwhile, enhanced individuals experience fewer diseases, faster healing, stronger immunity, and improved physical and cognitive performance. A biological divide forms, not between races, not between countries, not between classes, but between the edited and the unedited. And this raises complex ethical questions. What does fairness mean in a world where some people upgrade their biology and others cannot? What does equality mean when genetic differences become choices? What happens to sports, education, jobs, relationships, and identity when genetics becomes a menu? Another challenge is safety. DNA editing is powerful, but even a tiny mistake can cause unintended effects. Most gene edits are safe, but some might have long-term risks not fully understood. Just like early smartphones had glitches, early genetic technology has bugs, and bugs in DNA are far more serious than bugs in software. Then there is privacy. Your DNA becomes your most valuable asset, more valuable than money, property, or digital data. Companies want it, governments want it, hackers want it, insurance companies want it. If your DNA is stored in a database, who controls it? Who can access it? What if someone edits your DNA without your consent? Another concern emerges: identity. When you change your biology, do you change who you are? If you edit your child to be stronger or smarter, does that child grow up feeling like they were chosen or built? If you modify your brain's emotional genes, do your feelings still count as yours? By 2050, society faces a strange paradox. DNA editing becomes safe, normal, and widely accessible, but the more common it becomes, the more we begin questioning what it means to be human. Humanity has always adapted using external tools, buildings, clothing, machines, technology. But DNA editing is not an external tool. It is an internal rewrite. It is humans editing the fundamental rules of life written over millions of years of evolution. Some people say this is evolution 2.0, taking control of our destiny. Others say this is reckless manipulation, playing with nature. But the truth lies somewhere in the middle. DNA editing is powerful, necessary, and revolutionary. But it must be handled with wisdom. Now imagine a child in the future asking their parent, "Was I born naturally or designed?" And imagine that parent answering, "You were customized for health and happiness." Will that child feel loved or manufactured or both? These emotional complexities shape the future of DNA editing far more than the scientific ones, because the technology will be ready long before society is emotionally prepared. Yet even with these concerns, the benefits are impossible to ignore. Genetic diseases disappear. People live longer, healthier lives. Cancer risk drops. Aging slows. Immunity strengthens. People become more resilient. The world of 2050 sees fewer hospital beds, fewer suffering children, fewer chronic conditions. The dream of a healthier humanity becomes real, but with a price. The price is responsibility, ethics, regulation, and a deep understanding of how to use power without abusing it. The biggest question is not whether DNA editing will become part of daily life. It will. The real question is, how will society adapt when biology becomes editable? Will we use it to uplift humanity, reduce suffering, and extend health? Or will we use it selfishly, competitively, and dangerously? The truth is, DNA editing becoming the new normal is both hope and risk, both transformation and temptation. both progress and pressure. And the future of humanity will depend not on whether DNA editing is possible, it already is, but on how wisely we choose to use it. Because once editing DNA becomes a daily routine, we won't just be changing our bodies, we'll be changing the story of human evolution itself. I am Dr. Mohsin Raza, and thanks for watching the video. For more information and new videos, don't forget to subscribe the channel.